We're up here in Canyon de Chelly, right? Is that how you say it?
Yes.
And your name is, sir?
I am Pete Gilmore. I'm a local artist. This here is called a tunnel canyon. It's called Canyon de Chelly, not Canyon de Chelly.
Yeah, most people think it's Shelley, but it's spelled that way, isn't it?
If you look further down, you see the line of trees coming down. A little bit past it, it's called a tunnel. A Mother Nature made a rock formation like a tunnel. So it's called a tunnel canyon. Canyon de Chelly means all the colorations that you see inside the walls, the height and the length of the canyon is called Canyon.
Yeah, it goes several miles back up in here, doesn't it?
All the way up to the mountains.
All the way to almost a Monument Valley, would you say?
No, look Ajugay Mountain or Chinle Az Mountain.
Well, what's it called again?
Look Ajugay Mountain.
Oh, okay. And what does that mean in Navajo?
It's just a mountain.
Oh, just mountain,
Yeah,
okay.
like the mountain you see over there.
Oh, yeah.
That's where Canyon de Chelly starts. There's a dam up there, and when it rains and snows up there in the summer, this is where the water comes out when it melts.
Oh, so that's why it's so green down. So it's like pasture down there.
Pretty well fertile down
there. Now
there.
it looked to me like it's pretty dry when I came across. Is it running now? Is there any water in it now?
You missed it by a couple of days. It was running, but now it's dried up.
Have you guys been getting a lot of rain up here this summer?
It's been evident for a couple of years now.
I tell you what, in the valley, up in Payson, that area, coming up here, I never seen it that green before.
I wish it was that green here.
You get a better view of this canyon here. I'm going to buy one of this gentleman's pieces of artworks here. I had in my collection. Give you a little 360 where we're at. A little commercial for Volkswagen, my Jetta there. And there you have it. Enjoy. I just bought some of the gentleman's artwork here, and he's going to give us the version of the emergence story, Navajo version, correct? From the first world emerging from the water. So go ahead, my friend. Your name is, again?
Yes, I am Pete Gilmore. My great-grandfather, his name was the Big Black Sheep, and his little brother's name was that means the little black sheep. This is his story and his creation story that he's been passed down to me. And not just to me, but my sisters and my brothers. We're all declared as a medicine man and a medicine woman. So sometimes I stay up late at night when I was younger, try to capture everything that they said. But it states that the first world was nothing but water, just water people, water creatures. And
you said water people, didn't you? That's very important. Because the same thing as the Dugon tribe in Africa, from Mali, Africa.
Yes,
so
exactly. And then a dissension occurred and people moved up to the sucker world. The sucker world was nothing but a few places where people can gather food and stuff like that. So another dissension occurred and went up to the third world. The third world, there was the 4 sacred mountains that was placed, where we, the people, that's where I guess they were going to emerge. And another ascension occurred, and we went up to the 4th world. Back when we were in the 4th world, the Anasazi were here.
Yeah, which means lost people.
Yes, the lost people, the ancient ones. They're not, even our descendants we have nothing to do with them. It states that we migrated from Canada, from the 4th world. We emerged from there to the 5th world. It states that the 4th world, the coyote stole the water creatures monster, the children. So they started flooding the 4th world. And a reef was planted, and it was a corn. A corn was planted inside the basket where the corn grew up into a real big plant where people and animals climbed on it. When they were getting up to the top, it states that the sand was too soft. The sand was getting into the people's eyes. So the badger was called in. The badger digged his way up into the 5th world that is now. The The fourth world, there's a lot of history to it, but it will take me more than an hour for me to translate everything. But I just gave you a little short version of what's called the creation story. It's called the emergence.
And it was the emergence from inside the earth, correct,
Yes.
my friend?
Yes, it
The
is.
hollow earth.
The hollow earth, the shallow earth, they call
exactly, exactly. And the Hopi have the same story.
Yes.
And they have a reed.
Yes,
and they
a
came,
reef.
Yeah, and they came up through it.
A reed.
A reed, yeah, a
reed.
hollow
Yes,
reed.
that is right.
That's
yes.
right. And they kept planting it, and they finally
Yes.
got one reed to go through.
And then some say, how is a reef gonna grow if there's nothing but water? Well, they put the seeds inside the basket, and they put it on the ground, and this is how it grew.
And then it grew, huh?
Yeah.
And I've also heard stories there was light inside the earth because of the crystals.
Yes.
And that's a Hopi story.
Yes,
I don't know if that's a
why-
Navajo story
yes,
or not.
that's why what we call the Kokopellis. That's inside the crystal. We use them as a messenger to the great creator. They bring us back the message so we can tell the patient how they can be healed.
Yeah, and another version of the Kokopelli man is he brought the DNA. He upgrades the DNA.
That is right.
Because mankind's been wiped out, and every time he gets wiped out, he gets brought back in.
There-
And Kokopelli brings in the new DNA.
Yes. There, I'm not going to state anything because that is where I put my foot there, so it can be protected by. So
Right.
there, I'm not going to say anything about the Kokopellis, you know.
Right,
They bring
right.
light and the DNA. So
You know, the Kokopellis show up all over the world.
yeah.
They're in everywhere. They're in Europe.
Yeah.
They're in Australia. This gentleman, I just bought a Kokopelli from this gentleman right here.
So this one here,
Is this the one I bought? This is the one I
Yes.
bought, isn't it?
this one is the planter and the shaman. He's the only one that don't play the flute out of the four. He carries a cane, a water jug, and 4 sacred seeds. The 4 sacred seeds, which you will see them growing and planted every summer on the bottom of Canyon de Chelly. The first one is the corn, beans, squash, watermelon. The cane he uses as his planting stick to plant the sacred seeds with. When he's finished, he gives them a little bit of water from his water jug just to nourish the seeds. His face, 4 colors. 4 colors represents the 4 directions, the east, south, west, north. His body, 4 colors. It identifies the 4 seasons. He has spring, summer, fall, and winter. Back here, he has 5 feathers. The 5 feathers states that it's the 5 months, planting months of the sacred seeds. A medicine pouch. Every medicine man and woman, they have one. Inside there, it contains what we call the corn pollen. Corn pollen is used to make an offering to the Mother Earth or to purify the holy people with. Inside his dress here, the lines here is the symbol of the rain. The other half is the symbol of the snow. Up here, he wears the mask of the buffalo head. When we put on a buffalo head, that means that we use it for cleansing. Cleanses our immune system, cleanses our organs and our senses. That's what we use the buffalo mask for. The third Kokopelli, we call him the planter and the shaman, or the harvest god.
Thank you.
Kokopelli.
Thank you very much,
In
sir.
English, yes, in English it's been translated back as Kokopelli. But in our native tongue, we call him Bigan Skiddy.
Don't ask me to say that.
So it's called Bigan Skiddy.
What is that noise we hear in the background?
Oh, it states that it's high noon, 12 o'clock. Is it 12 o'clock?
It's 11 o'clock, but I'm on Arizona time.
Well, sometimes, you know, they put on the siren to see if there's a fire or
Oh, okay. Is that what
something
that
like,
is?
yeah,
Okay.
something with
I'll make sure there's nothing wrong with the car. I left the car running, so.
So this is called pictograph. It comes from our native culture, the history.
I want to thank you very much, sir, for doing this for me. And once
Thank you
again, your
very-
name?
Pete Gilmore,
Pete Gilmore from
Chinle,
Chinle.
Arizona.
Chinle. God bless you, bud.
God bless you.